haven't studied at university before for a degree, everybody is entitled to a tuition fee loan. This is an annual loan based on the annual tuition fee. Currently, the maximum amount of tuition fees a university can charge is £9,250, and that's the maximum amount of loan that any student can get annually. We recommend that if you're applying to come to university, say for example an autumn start, that you apply for student finance really before the end of May of the year that you're going to start in. So student finance tends to open its application window around sort of the end of February. So we recommend that you get your application in by the end of May to guarantee that you'll have your funding in place when you start in September. However, if you are a late applicant or have applied through clearing, you need to apply for student finance within 9 months of the start of the academic year at the very latest. Student finance, in terms of your tuition fee loan, you won't see that at all. That'll go directly to the university. In terms of your maintenance loan for your living costs, you'll receive that in 3 instalments. So say for example you start your studies in the autumn term, you'd receive your first instalment a few days after enrolling at the university, which tends to be mid-September. Following that, again, when you go back to uni after the winter break, after Christmas, you'll be paid your next instalment in the January time, and then again at Easter, you'll be paid your sort of 3rd instalment after the Easter break. In terms of repaying your student loan, it depends on how much you earn. It really doesn't matter how much you owe, it's always calculated on how much you earn. The current threshold is £25,725. So for example, your student loan will be calculated on 9% of what you earn over that £25,725 threshold. So for example, if you owe £30,000 and you earn £25,000, you wouldn't pay anything back at all. If you owe £30,000 and you're earning £27,000, then you'll pay just over £9 per month back. If you owe £40,000 and you're earning £27,000, again you'll only pay just over £9 back per month. Say for example you owe £40,000 and you're earning £31,000, then you'll pay just under £40 back per month. Your student loan will incur interest. Whilst you study, the interest rate is the rate of inflation plus 3%. So once you start earning, your student loan will incur interest at the rate of inflation and interest calculated on how much you earn. In terms of living costs, some students choose to take out a maintenance loan. A maintenance loan is a little bit different from the tuition fee loan in that you can apply for a loan, but it is based on something called your annual household income. It is also based on where you choose to live when you come to university. So for example, if you live with your parents and you choose to remain living with your parents whilst you're at university, your maintenance loan will be a little different from somebody who has decided to live in student accommodation or in private rented accommodation. Additionally, if you choose to study in London, you can get a little bit more maintenance loan for the living costs in London. In terms of support for the costs of university, you could always check out each individual university's scholarship offer. Lots of universities offer scholarships to support their students while they study. Here at the University of Sunderland, we have a wide range of scholarships. It can range from an accommodation discount, it could be actual cash to help you with the living costs, it could be free travel, for example around Tyne and Wear here at the University of Sunderland, or alternatively it could be a tuition fee reduction. It just depends. Each university has their own individual scholarship offer. For our information, I would recommend that you look at our scholarships calculator online. That'll give you a good indication of the type of scholarships that you may be eligible for.